Welcome back to the Bear Network here at BCHS.TV. I'm your host, Gary Ownbey. Again, as we're around campus here, talking to the different folks that provide services at Bradley Central, the teachers and staff. One of them we've not talked to before is our librarian, Miss Terrie Simons. Welcome to the show, Terrie.
Thank you.
Glad to have you here today.
Good to be here.
There's a lot of things going on here at Bradley. The library is a very important part for students to do research, for people like me to go in and do research and just whatever we need. A lot of information down there. But how did you become the librarian? How did you prepare yourself for that? What's your background here?
My background is in education. I taught language arts for 23 years at Oakwood Middle School. Believe it or not, I was also the theater director there for 20 years. I decided to go back and get my library science degree 8 years ago and love every minute of it. Went through Trevecca Nazarene University, went 2 classes, not just online, and read all those books and did all the hard work, and best decision I ever made.
Well, now here at Bradley, how long have you been the head librarian here at Bradley?
This is my 5th year.
And also, not just the librarian, but you're over the yearbook. So what all does the yearbook entail for you?
Well, yearbook entails starting the very first day of school, compiling pictures, getting all of the information at the school for history purposes. The yearbook is actually a historical document, Gary. You used it to do research, and it is not only just pictures of the students, but what they did, what the stats were, what the scores were, who was the teacher of the year, what student was the valedictorian, salutatorian, and students really don't appreciate those yearbooks until about 10 years after they graduate, and they come back up and they want to see them. So if you do the yearbook right, you have a huge responsibility, and I take it very seriously.
Well, I know you do. I've seen you working on that, and I know it's a labor of love. It takes a long time. Like you say, you start day one. And when do the students normally receive their yearbooks?
They receive them a week before graduation, usually.
Okay.
So 1st of May, first week in May.
Well, in the library, if you've been there, if you haven't been there, folks, you need to come by and check out the Bradley Library. How many volumes do you have roughly?
We have 16,000 copies in print in our shelves.
Okay, wow.
We have over 65 laptop computers for students to use. I'm sorry, desktop computers, and then we have 4 Chromebook carts.
Okay.
And we have been able to acquire those Chromebook carts through our Joubert coffee shop, and I know that might be one of your questions coming up.
It's going to be. Now, you have labs down there, and the labs provide opportunities for students to come in. And a lot of the teachers bring their students to that lab because they don't have computers in the classroom themselves, so they're down there all day long, basically, aren't they?
Right. They can book the lab and have their class 45 minutes to 2 hours down there, whatever they need it for.
Well, if someone has materials, or how do you acquire materials to put new books or whatever to go in the library? How do you get all that material?
I am allocated so many dollars at the beginning of the year from central office, which comes from the state of Tennessee.
Okay.
We're very blessed in Bradley County that we have a really nice, healthy budget. I spend anywhere from $5,000 to $9,000 on books, and then the rest of the money I'll use on equipment if there's something left.
Oh, okay. Well, also, if you're a student here or you're on staff here, you know about Joubert. Joubert is our version of Starbucks, I guess we could say, right?
It is Starbear Joubucks.
Starbear Joubucks. There you go.
It's awesome. It's a coffee shop, but we sell mostly iced tea and frozen granita drinks, some flavored coffees. We use that revenue we have completely renovated the library. We have gotten Chromebooks with it. We have purchased new computers with it. I also give to different organizations that might need something, like for the Fine Arts Center, buying projectors for them, sound equipment, televisions, whatever someone needs. I'll look over that need and see where I can best put that revenue from Joubert.
Well, a couple of years ago, I guess you renovated the library with
Yes.
new flooring and everything, and man, it's
Yes.
beautiful now. Do you get credit for being the decorator for that? I guess?
I don't know if I get credit for it, but I was the decorator.
Let's talk about who helps you down there. You got a great helper
I
there.
have a wonderful helper. Her name's Tanya Reynolds, and she is really a blessing to have. She's just a hard worker. She works as hard as I do, and that's hard to find. We work really well together.
And you have aides, also student aides?
We do have 2 periods a day. We have some aides helping us, and actually they're work-based learners in Joubert.
Well, you're covering a lot. It's one of the vital functions of this school, any school, to have a great library and maintain that and keep it in order and know what's in there. For one thing, to be able to find it is another thing too. But we thank you for taking time to be with us here today on BCHS.TV and talk about it. Miss Terrie Simons, the head librarian here at Bradley Central High School.
That's right.
And we'll say for now, so long, God bless, and go Bears.
Go Bears.